Okay, good afternoon, YouTube. Not quite sure what this is. It says Great Oak Trading. Oh, okay, that's what this was. This was my tire. This is for my cyclocross bike, Marathon Mondial. And I get the, let's see, it's the right size, 700 by 40C, and this is the folding bead. A month ago, I got a nail that went clear through the tread and clear out the sidewall right by the bead, and the sealant seems to have sealed it up, but that area flexes a lot, so I'm just not real confident in the tire. So I'll probably take the punctured tire off, maybe try patching the inside of it, keep it as sort of a spare. For some reason, these tires are really hard to get a hold of. I was able to find one on Amazon, and then I found one from, I think that they're called Cyclo Camping. Great Oak Trading, and then it's cyclocamping.com. These are kind of a touring tire. I run them on my cyclocross bike because they work really good on pavement. They've got a nice tight tread pattern for pavement, and yet they've got an aggressive enough pattern that they work great on the dirt and the gravel. Yeah, so here's a close-up of the tire that had the puncture, and that's the nail that was embedded all the way through. You can see it came out right there, right on the bead. You can see that nail was long enough, it was just barely poking out of the tread down here, and it came all the way through like that, and it's holding air now. There's a pretty good cut there, probably almost a 1/4 inch long where the nail came through. I think there's so much flex in right at that bead that I don't know if anything's going to seal it up. So I decided to replace the tire. Okay, good afternoon, YouTube. I got this Schwalbe Marathon Mondial tire mounted up. I had to put a little bead lubricant on, got it hopped onto the beam, and then I pulled the valve core and used my shock compressor with a Presta-Valve adapter and ran it up to about 50 psi to get the beads to seat. So I did that before I added any sealant, and now I've added one measure of sealant, and then this is the second one. Get that all mixed up here. There we go. That's all there. Got two measures of Stans NoTubes tire sealant. I just use a little plastic syringe and a piece of vinyl tubing. I was going to buy the Stans injector, and the bike shop was out, so I picked up some of these at the local hardware store, and it works just fine. About 10% the cost of the Stans. I think I got 10 of these for less than the Stans injector costs. There, I got that in. Now let's go hook up a pump. Okay, we've got it up to a little over 40 psi here. Might as well put a little extra air, get them up to, that's around 50. And then what you want to do, you can hear the sealant in there. Just shake it around. Okay, after shaking all the sealant around, I like to, this is just a bottle of some soapy water there, you can see, squirt spray bottle. You can see there's a few places there where it's bubbling up around the bead, like right in there. Get the bubbles, and around, there's a spot right there that's not sealed. Now at this point there's really no sealant on that side of the tire, so I'll turn this over and then repeat on the side. Okay, spray that side down. So this side's looking pretty good because it had the sealant down on that side first. So we'll keep repeating this. Usually give it a couple hours, you know, do one side, let it sit for a while, then flip it over, spray the other side, because now, like here, you can see there's some bubbles coming up. I don't see any sidewall bubbles, just around the bead. So we'll let that go. Yeah, good morning, YouTube. Just checking on the tire. Pressure gauge just shut off, but it's held something like 35 psi for the last couple of days since I sealed the bead. And I'll just take a quick look here and spray it down with some soapy water, see what it looks like. This side looks good. Don't see any bubbles coming up. Let's flip it over and check the bottom side. That was the side that was leaking before, as I recall. That side looks pretty good too. I don't see any bubbles, so I think this tire is ready to put back on the bike. This was the easiest one I've done. The first two, remember, it took me a day or so to get them to seal up. I had to flip them and add sealant. This time I added 2 measures of sealant. I think before I'd only done 1. I think they recommend like 1 or 1.5 for the size tire, 700 by 40. So I added 2 measures, and I think that probably helped. So I will get this back on the bike and we'll have to give it a test ride, see how it works.